What's up, Tweener heads? Welcome back to another video, and before we start this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the action here at Tweener Head Tennis, as well as hitting that bell so that way when we post a new video, you guys will be the first to know. Now, the feud is still continuing. This feud between Hewitt and Tomic is utterly unbelievable. To give you some context, I made a video a couple days ago that I posted about how Tomic has called out Lleyton Hewitt for involving himself in some way with Tennis Australia, where he gets to pick favorites because he works with he's working with kids, specific kids from Australia, and takes them under their wing over other players. And while he's the Australian Davis Cup captain, he picks certain players over others. And while he's retired, he's not retired because he still plays doubles, and he played doubles at the Australian Open. I'll leave a link to the previous video in our description if you want to get more context, but this feud is still continuing. That Hewitt had to talk to people at his press conference after his doubles match at the Australian. Again, not retired at all, but he had to tell people about what was actually going on between both of them. Tomic actually threatened Lleyton Hewitt with physical and blackmail threats against his family, against maybe his kids, no one really knows. But Hewitt has come out and said that Tomic is actually accusing him and threatening him in every sense of the matter. And while Tomic has accused Hewitt of picking others over, say, Kyrgios, Kokkinakis, himself, Tomic needs to stop because he's not as good as he used to be. Hewitt has come out and said that Tomic never had the mentality and the mindset to promote Tennis Australia, never had the mindset to work hard to achieve better results in bigger tournaments. And I would like to agree with that, first of all, because Tomic is not going to be the player that he's going to be for the rest of his career, because he's a mug. Hewitt has also said that his relationship with Kokkinakis and Kyrgios is still salvageable. I think that he still wants to work with them, but he still says that he's picking other people to play for Australia because he wants to see that passion and that progression with these players that can actually represent Australia in a way that can show Tennis Australia in a better light, that have the mindset to work harder and to pursue bigger and better things. I feel like Hewitt wants Kokkinakis and Kyrgios to do those things, but it's very hard to get their mindset up there. I think Kokkinakis is on his way up. Kyrgios still needs to...
Lucas.
I just hope Kyrgios can get back to what he once was and continue that progression that he wants to have. But to get back to this Tomic versus Hewitt fight, Hewitt had to talk about this during his press conference after his doubles match. I would like to say that the media has said that Hewitt has called a personal press conference to deliver this message, but that's not true at all. Hewitt actually had to talk about it during his post-match press conference after his doubles match just a couple days ago, where he lost, but he still had to address it because that's what players do. Players have press conferences after they finish a match. It's not like they did a personal one. That's different. I would also like to point out that we're having very good success with some of the young Australians. De Minaur's already made it far into the Australian Open, making the third round. He's playing Rafael Nadal. Alex Popyrin, a young Australian, is beat team by retirement, but still making the best run of his young career. And Alexander Bolt, who's now playing at a higher level than he should be, which is fantastic for the Australian community. But this whole situation that was blown out of proportion by Tomic because he lost at Chilich, so he's deflecting the whole problem to someone else that had nothing to do with him, for someone that tried helping, but when Tomic's father apparently got involved, that's when things went awry. That's what I'm reading, that's what I'm being told by news reports, but that's just what I'm reporting. This article is actually hysterical. There was an article on news.com.au where the Channel 9 reporter had a rant, literally went off on Bernard Tomic because Tomic is making a fool out of this, and we have so many Australian players competing at such a high level and doing so successfully that we have to throw our dirty laundry out into the open and just let this overshadow everything. I just want to point out one quote that he said. He says, "I am not having a go at Lleyton Hewitt per se, by the way. I'm having a go at Bernard Tomics of this world. Bernard, pack your bags and go away. Really, you are a blot of the Australian sporting landscape, and the more this played out, the more Tennis Australia needs to intervene and say enough is enough." To me, it is very, very sad when you have people like Rod Laver, who the main stadium is named after, sitting courtside most days. You have got ornaments like Yvonne Gugalagong Colley, who was just classed personified when she played, and yet we have this wave of tennis players who are fortunately on the way out. Now, like I said, Ashley Barty, top 20 seed at the Australian Open. You have De Minaur. You have so many good players for Australia, and we have to look at this and see how tennis drama is being evolved. And with things like personal threats and blackmail being evolved, this is becoming unbelievable. I can't believe I'm listening to this, especially with such a legend like Lleyton Hewitt. And Bernard Tomic he's just being a baby back bitch at this point, because he didn't win his match against Cilic. That's it. That's literally all it is. I mean, this whole story to me is crazy, and this whole idea that this is being like thrown out into the tennis world is just a whole nother level of tennis drama, and I want this to be the end of it. I don't want to hear another story about this. If Tomic comes out with another wild accusation, I will definitely make a video about it, but I just want this to just go away. Just goodbye. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to Tweener Head Tennis if you already haven't. If you want to see more behind the scenes content, make sure to follow us on all our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure to check out all those. And if you want to check out articles as well as cool Tweener Head Tennis merchandise, go to tweenerheadtennis.com. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. I hope to see you soon. Thanks, guys.